Hi, today we are going to discuss about what is quorum. In a distributed system, quorum is nothing but the minimum number of members or the minimum number of nodes that must agree for something to happen. For example, let's say you want to, this is your cluster and you want to store some data in this cluster. So the client is going to send data to one of the nodes and that node is going to store some data. If we were living in a common scenario or if we were living a normal life, then storing that data on single node should work. But in clusters, anything can fail. For example, if this node fails, then cluster won't be able to provide you the data when you want to read it. So in order to maintain data persistence and data availability, what cluster does is it decides the minimum number of nodes on which data has to be replicated before it can respond to the client that data has been saved. For example, if you send this data in first request, then what cluster is going to do is it is going to replicate this data on, let's say, two nodes, 1, 2. Rather, we should do 2 and 3. These steps are going to be done, and once that data has been stored successfully, then our initial node is going to send us the response. So here we are ensuring that quorum of two nodes is present so as to respond to the client that data is stored. And if any one of the node is down, then quorum of two will not be able to maintain. We will not be able to maintain it. Hence, our cluster won't be allowing this save. So generally what we do is, if we have a cluster containing n nodes, then n by 2 plus 1 is the sweet spot for quorum count. For example, let's say we have a cluster of 3 nodes. So 3 by 2 plus 1. This is going to be 2 nodes, approximately 2 nodes. So data has to be stored on this node and this node, or any one more node, before this server can respond that data has been stored successfully. This is a quorum. It is the majority or the minimum number of nodes on which data has to be stored before we can confirm the client that that work was done.